Hi, this is Margaret from Margaret's Crafts. I wanted to show you just how I made this flower. It's a three-dimensional flower with the Making Memory Slice machine. The card that I'm using is called Basic Shapes 2. On the back, the opposite side of the fonts, you'll see the second row is a flower here. That's the row that I want to go to. Now to get that set up on my slice, once I put my card in, turn the slice on, you'll get this main menu. You're going to hit menu to go to, it'll say Basic Shapes 2 or whatever cartridge it is, and then settings. The black background means that's the one that's highlighted. So now I'm going to hit select. And then you'll come up with your different sections. And your sections are the same as your booklet. If you see your ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, this is just how it's set up on here. So the one that I want has the blackened flower without the circle in the middle of it. And that one is down over here. So I'm going to keep going with the single arrows till I get to that area. And now that's the background is black, so it's highlighted. So I'm going to hit select. And then the flower that I made this one out of is this flower right here, the first row, the third one. So this is the first row. So I'm going to use my arrow and go over to the third one and select it. The size that I made this flower is I made 5 parts. I made 1 at 2 inches, 2 at 1.5 inches, and 2 at 1 inch. Now I'm going to turn it around so I can see it. Right now I'm using the the hands-free slice board. It'll work exactly the same on with the regular little just the glass mat. And the adhesive that I found to be the best, because I tried the adhesive in the that came with the slice and find that it didn't stick very well and my paper kept moving. So I thought, well, maybe my adhesive was old, so I went and bought a new package of adhesive and tried it. Same thing, my paper didn't stick very well. Well, then I was at one of the Michaels during the sale, and they had one more of the Making Memory Slice repositionable adhesive. So I decided to give it a try. Love this, works great. It says when you see a video, it says that you can use it right away, but the can tells you to wait at least a minute before you put the things on. And it really gives a nice tack to your paper, and it stays down really well. I haven't had any problems with it moving. Now I'm going to keep it, if you can see, the slice will say normal. That's the normal cut. If you use the double arrows at the bottom, it depends on which cartridge you have. Some cartridges have layers, and it'll go to layers. Others have mirror, shadow, and then back to normal. I'm going to cut mine at normal. And then the way that I do it, once I get it set up, I'll hit select. And when I hit select, it'll take the needle or the blade right down to the corner of where you need it. And that way, if you can see underneath, it was straight across. Now it moved it to where it's going to start cutting. All I do is I turn that over. All I do is I turn that over and line my paper's edge up. And make for sure that my blade on the top and the bottom is going to be on the paper. And with this, remember to keep, with this 12 by 12 board, it has a little rubber edge on it. Make sure that your slice is down on that. If you have it up on this edge a little bit, your machine will move. So make sure it's off of the edge. Then you just hit the button. If I just tap my glass mat and not the magnetic mat, all I'll do is I'll hold the sides like this and hit the button and hold it till it's done. Okay, that was my 2 inches. Once it cuts that, it'll say cutting complete with a check mark. You're just going to hit your menu, and it's going to take you back to your last item that you cut. And it's still at the 2 inches. I want it smaller at 1.5 inches. And I'm going to do the same thing. Hit select. And I'm going to put this where I want it to cut, so I won't cut over top of my other one. And just hit working. I'm going to do this all 5 times. Remember, the first one's at 2 inches, the next 2 are at 1.5 inches, and the last 2 are at 1 inch. When you, before you remove it from your slice, I turn it off because you don't want it to mess up your SD card. Now I have the 5 cuts that I need for that. Now I'm going to cut 2 leaves. Now I'm going to do just like I did with the first time. I'm going to take it over till I get to the leaf. Press select, pick out which leaf that I want to cut and the size. Make sure my paper is down good. And I need 2 leaves. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how I put my flower together. The first thing is I take my flower pieces and I ink my edges. Today I'm going to be using Worn Lipstick by the Distressed Inks by Ranger. I'll do all of my inking before I start embossing. And on the leaves, I'm going to use the pine needles. To make my spine, I'm just going to fold it in half and go up the middle. Okay. Now I'll need my embossing tool and my foam pad. And I'm going to start with my flowers. And all you're going to do is you're going to take your rolled edge and shape your flower, just breaking the texture of the paper so you can play with it. And then on my leaves, I'm going to do them the same way. Pointed end up. I'm just going down the sides. Then for my leaves, I'm just going to fold them back the other way and give the end a little pinch. Like that. And with my flowers, I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to start with my littlest ones. And I'm just going to close scissors, just roll my edges of my pages back. Just like if you were curling ribbon to make it spiral. I'm just doing that same thing with my paper, with my leaves, the petals of my flowers. And once I get it turned back, then I'm going to take the embossing tool and go in the middle, because I want it to be cupped, but the ends to be cupped over. I'm going to do this with all of them. Just don't pull too hard. You may break your petal off. Now I like to start with my littler one. Put a little bit of glue. You can use whatever kind. Right now I'm using just a hot glue gun. And stagger your petals. Then I just use that to give it a little push down and get it where I want it to go. Then I'll do the same thing, going up a size. You just need just a dab in the middle. And stagger the next. And the last. Okay, now your leaves, I'm just going to put a little bit on the wide part of the leaves on the bottom. Now you can use any kind of adhesive, but I prefer the fast drying adhesive, so you don't have to hold your flowers long. Then for the center, I just spread it out some glue down there. And took some brown seed beads. Sprinkled them in the center. And pushed the ones in. They didn't get any glue there. And I add a little bit more because I like it to build up. Start dropping some more beads on top. And pushing them in. Just play with that till you get it to look the way you want it to look. And there you are. Very quick, very simple 3D flower. Made with the slice cartridge, the basic shapes too. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.